Yo, it's Mr. Ronald McDonald, aka Mixing Guy. We're going to show you guys how to do an FL Studio template today. Templates are cool because they speed up your process, have plugins preloaded. This will save you time and energy and will just make your day better, and your mom might finally text you back. I'm going to show you guys how to make your own, but the beauty of teaching a man to fish is that he'll feed himself for life. So let's open up a blank one here. You're going to have to ask yourself how many mics you're going to be using. Well, you're probably going to use one because you're using your mic with the sock over it, and you're in your college dorm, and people keep knocking on the door, and you need to pay for your cafeteria lunch because the hamburger hits. What I like to do is I like to dock any tracks to the left or the right depending on where I want to use them, because it kind of separates them out from the mixer tracks. But here I'm going to just insert 50 tracks here just so there's more preloaded. Okay, and we're going to dock one of these. You right click any of these tracks and hit dock to left, and then we're going to hit F2 to rename it. We're going to name this recording, and we can actually click up here and put our mic on. So if you click this orange dot right here, it'll just kind of terminate that. Click this green dot here and then shift click that, and it'll lock it. So when you solo and unsolo things, it won't unsolo it when it's locked like that. You can also lock it on, so when you solo it, the same thing, it stays on. So we'll turn that off now with a left click. So we have this recording track here. You may want to add auto tune here if that's what you like to use. You don't have to have it on there. The master, you can preload a couple things here. I like to have, well, for one, a limiter. So we're going to use Pro L2. We're also going to throw on an EQ, so Pro Q4. And a lot of people like to use a compressor on their master in the first track just to kind of glue everything together. So SSL compressor, sure. Or we could use Pro C2, or you could use Fruity Compressor. You can even save projects you've already done and save templates from that, but I'll show you that later. We're going to delete that ones we don't want. We just want the Pro Q4 SSL compressor. I like to use a measuring plugin at the end of my master bus just so I can always measure how loud my song is in LUFS. So we'll put that after the limiter. So that's the master. You could even press F2 and color it. Since we like cheeseburgers, we're doing yellow for McDonald's. Yeah, I feel lost inside. Now that we have the master and the recording track set up, we can actually do more buses. This is optional, but here's what I like to do. I like to create, like, let's say 3, dock to the left, or right click, dock to left. Here, press F2 to rename them. I like to do one called beat, one called instruments, and one called drums. Let's say you have stems, or you're making your own beat. You have blah, blah, blah. All this is, let's say, kick, snare, hi-hat, open hat, instrument 1, bass, whatever. I pretend this is melodies. We're going to color it blue, like a blue Fanta. Highlight those, holding control and left clicking and dragging. Highlighted all those. Pretend those are all instruments. We want them to route them to the instrument bus, right? Right click, route to this track only, boom. Then you F2 on the instrument track, click the color wheel. This is a recent color we picked, boom. Now we can clearly see instruments as the color here. But if you want your template to be blank, you just need to color the instrument bus, and this, let's say drums is red. So we can actually reset this here. No, reset tracks to default, boom. So now we have master, recording, beat, instruments, drums. There's color codes, right? Beat can be green. So now we want instruments and drums. We want those to actually route into the beat, this bus right here. So I'm just highlighting instruments and drums, right clicking down here and on this little drop down and hitting route to this track only with a right click. Now instruments and drums will only come out of the beat group here. Again, I'm shift clicking to lock it. Easy peasy. So what else do you want to do? So I like to have reverb, right? So we're going to go down here and we're going to right click and dock 2 of these to the right. Now we have these over on the right here, right? F2 to rename it, reverb 1. Next one will be called delay 1. Okay. Let's open up a reverb here, Valhalla plate. Mix all the way up because it's on the send. And delay, we'll do a fruity delay 2. Turn dry all the way down on fruity delay 2. Turn time up to 4. Quarter note time. So we have for our vocals. We're actually going to route the recording track. I'm forgetting we need to have a all vocals bus. That's what we like to have there. Route recording track to the all vocals track only. Color that a different color so it stands out. Let's do this pink color. Reverb and delay. We want to send from all vox to these sends here. While my all vocals track is selected over here, I can then select that there. These probably are too loud because, you know, we don't need a super ton of reverb and delay when we first start recording anything. Very simple there. So now we have all the buses we need. We have reverb and delay. What else is there? It might be nice to have an EQ on each of these groups. So I'm going to click on my master bus here, and then we see that we have Pro Q4 here. I want that to be on all these buses. So I'm going to click that little drop down, click and hold save preset as, and I can drag that over. I'm going to drag that onto beat. Same process over here on instrument, same process here on drums, and then the same process here on all vocals. Now we have an EQ on all these ready to go. If you're worried about latency when you're recording, tip here is save your template with these clicked off. What this yellow button does down here is it turns off all the plugins. So when you first open your template, I like to have actually everything turned off. Over here on the reverbs, I'm actually going to mute those and lock those off, because if you're recording and you're using this as a recording template, having all those plugins preloaded could give you some latency issues depending on how good your computer is. So by saving the template with them off, it'll always just automatically have them on, and all you have to do is just press this button to turn them back on. Beautiful. Cool thing to do here is you can save this now as a template. This is how you do this. You go up here, you click on File, Save as Template. It says enter a template name. We'll name this video example template. Ronald. Hit enter. It'll say it's now saved as a template. Now let's open a new one, empty here. Just hit file, new, empty. Now we have an empty project here, nothing. Go to file again, and then you go to new from template, and we have all these templates I've created here. And we have it, video example template Ronald. It's going to open my plugins. By the way, pressing F12 closes all plugins. Pressing F5 opens the playlist, and pressing F9 opens the mixer. So you can jump between the two with F5 and F9. F12 closes everything, because sometimes you get bogged down with all those burgers and fries. Boom. So now how do we make FL Studio always open with this and not have to do it manually? You go to options, get it together, idiot, you literally. So if you want to use your template as the default template for FL Studio always, go to options, general settings, scroll down, and you'll find here under miscellaneous, we can set our default template. We'll set it to video example template Ronald, and the startup project here should say default template. Boom. When we click file, it'll come up here in the top left, video example template Ronald. So that way you can always have a burger and fries with you, and maybe a shake too. F12 to close the plugins. What do you think? You like it? You want to make your own? All that template available for download for you guys for watching through and sticking with me. Hey, let me know what other videos you're trying to see, because I'm just trying to chop it up with you guys.